Hi everyone. My name is Ujjwal Thapa. Uh, I'm a student at Australian National Institute of Management and Commerce, and I'm presenting presentations prepared by our group. Um, uh, the topic for the presentations is strategic analysis of iPhone 14 as a product produced by the Apple company. Uh, Produced by Apple company. So here's the product that we're going to analyze is iPhone 14, and the company that we are going to analyze strategically is Apple Incorporated. So this assignment is related to TMGT601 Strategic Management and Theory, and we are a group of students at Australian National Institute of Management and Commerce. So let me introduce you to our group members. We are a group of 7 members, and the name of the members are Jamuna Waipa, Ling Wang, Gyanakumari Yogi, Sanju Yunzun, Ujjwal Thapa, Sanjog Thapa, Amir Utkin Osman Danian. So moving on to the first slide. So the first slide is about the introduction of the company that we're going to analyze. So the first slide, the company is, as we all know, the famous Apple Incorporated. Apple was founded by Steve Jobs and his classmate Stephen G. Wozniak in 1976. So Apple started from the family garage of Steve Jobs' home. So Apple is one of the major manufacturer of personal computers, smartphones, tablets, and computer software. And Apple is one of the most valuable brand with a record valuations of more than 355 million, as per the report produced by World Trademark Review on 2022. So Apple, moving on to the next slide. It's about the next slide is about the product that we're going to strategically analyze. So the next product that we're going to strategically analyze is specifically iPhone 14. iPhone 14 is one of the latest iPhone released in the iPhone series, and so it comes into the 4 variants. So one is iPhone 14 in general, iPhone 14 Pro, iPhone 14 Pro Max, and iPhone 14 Plus. So basically, going back to the history of the iPhone, so the first iPhone that was launched was back in 2007. So after that, the iPhone has been one of the most successful product development successes that Apple has achieved. So iPhone is one of the most famous product of Apple. So moving on to the next slide, we are going to analyze the competitors of Apple. So there are many competitors of Apple because there are many companies that are producing smartphones and computers. But we're just going to analyze the two companies. We just took 2 companies to analyze that. So basically the 4 main competitors in our perspective is Samsung Electronics. So Samsung Electronics is a major manufacturer of smartphones, computers, and electronic items. So Samsung was founded back in 1938 in Korea. And the second company that we analyze in our report is Asus. Asus is a Taiwan-based computer hardware and consumer electronics company. So it was established in 1989 and is world #1 motherboard and gaming brand. Moving on to the next slide. We are going to analyze the product and the strategic positioning of the product on the basis of the answer matrix. So let's discuss about the answer matrix. So answer matrix is a matrix that helps a company that is willing to further grow or increase the revenue and the profits or the sales. Answer matrix basically provides the 4 types of strategy that a company can adopt to increase your sales or revenues, or increase sales, revenues, profits. The 4 strategy are based on the products and the markets. So markets can be existing markets or the new markets. and the product can be existing product or the new product. So if we summarize the four strategies, so market penetration strategy is where you with the company take an existing product into an existing market. So it's fairly less riskier because you are well known about the product, you are well known about the market that we're going to invest. So it's a less risk strategy. So the second strategy is a market development strategy. It's just where you just invest into the new market with an existing product. So it's more riskier than market penetration strategy because you are going into the new markets, a new market, but you have an idea of the product that you are producing. So um, it's more riskier than the market penetration strategy, but this strategy is taken by most of the companies. So the third strategy is a product development strategy, where you develop a new product, now for an existing market. So you know the markets and the consumer behavior, but you are unknown about uh, how the new product will be taken by the consumers in the existing market. So it's more riskier than the market development strategy. And the riskiest strategy is the diversification strategy, where you diversify where you could take out the completely new product for the new market. So you were just moving into the new market, into the new market with a new product. So you are unknown about the market, you are unknown about the product, so it's gonna be more riskier than all other strategy. So moving on to the sorry. So coming back to the products that we're analyzing, in case of Apple 14, they are using market penetrations. Uh, Apple is using market penetration, market development, and product development strategy. Why they are using, how can we say that the iPhone 14 uses the market penetration strategy? Because uh, iPhone 14 is successful in the existing market and it's an existing product. So the Apple is able to penetrate the market because the sales for the iPhone is growing even in the existing market every year. So that's a marketing penetrations. And regarding market development, mm, uh, now the iPhone 14 is launched all around the world through various retail stores, online, and telecommunications providers. And iPhone have been investing or have been providing its presence in almost all around the world, in almost all countries around the world. So that's a market development strategy. And regarding the product development strategy, Apple provides the new product to the existing market. So regarding iPhone, they provide upgrades to make it more bug free and more uh, user friendly. So they have been providing the new updated version of the software in which the iPhone 14 operates. So to the existing customers, so that's a product development strategy. So moving on to the next slide, uh, BCG metrics. So regarding the BCG metrics was initially developed by Boston Consulting Group. So BCG metrics places a particular product or a company into a quadrant based on the market growth rate and its related market shares, so that we can find where the company or a product actually lies uh, and take further decisions to invest, divest, or increase the investments in the product. So regarding iPhone 14 is one of the most notable success in the Apple's history. So iPhone 14 currently has a high market growth rate, yeah, and the high market share. So it's one of the star of the Apple company, and as per the basis metrics, it's a star. It's placed in the star quadrant because of the high market rate and the high market shares, and the high market share. So we have just completed the analysis of the product. So moving on to the analysis of the company. Um, in context of the answer metrics and BCG metrics. Uh, Apple, in context of the answer matrix, uses all the strategy that answer matrix has provided in an integrated manner. They combine all the strategies to get their desired result. So Apple uses market penetrations, product development, market development, and diversifications because, like I said earlier, Apple have been gaining success in the existing market. That's market penetrations. Apple provides new products to an existing market by upgrades and new types of products like Apple Pay and all that stuff to the existing customers. So that's a product development. And the market development is uh, when Apple has presence all around the world, and they have been increasing their presence every year around the world. So that's providing existing product to the new to the new market. So that's a market development strategy. And finally, the diversification can be justified by Apple have been investing Apple have massive investments in R&D, research and development. So they have been investing to develop a new product, and they have been doing research and all this stuff. So some of the examples are AI-powered self-driving cars that Apple is investing. So so it's outside the product, outside the range of products that they have currently producing, but it's a future vision of the Apple and Apple Pay and Apple Pay, Apple Car is all the products that are the diversified products. So they are trying to provide a new product to new customers so they can sustain or gain the success in the long run. Moving on to the next slide, we're going to analyze Apple um, in terms of the BCC matrix. So our group has concluded that we can't just put a company into a particular quadrant, like Apple, particular company Apple into a particular quadrant in BCC matrix, because they just don't provide or product or produce or manufactures just one product. They provide a range of products. So on the basis of the product they are producing, they fall in the different quadrant of the matrix. So we thought it would be better if we analyze if we put the products that the Apple produces into a quadrant, so we can get a overall view of where Apple lies in the quadrant. So regarding, as I said earlier, iPhone is one of the major product. So it's an star with a high market growth rate and high market shares. And regarding the question mark is where you have low markets here, but the market growth rate is high. And or in context of Apple, iWatch falls in the question mark quadrant because uh, iWatch has a lot of substitutes and they have the low market share, but still there's a high market growth rate and high potential for the success of the iWatch. So there are many alternatives. So they have the relative market share is low. And regarding the docs are an outdated products. So if we take iPod and iTunes, they were successful back then at one time, but now the market growth rate is low and market share is low because you can get all the services that the iPod can provide in your smartphones. So nobody uses iPhone and iTunes right now because they can get it on their smartphones easily. So that's why iPod and iTunes falls in the dogs. So Apple has wisely decided not to invest further in iPod and iTunes, and that's a good strategy. So finally, the MacBook and iPad, they fall in the cash cow because they have a high market share in the low growth rate market. So that's a cash generating unit or cash generating point for the Apple MacBook and the iPad. They are the cash cow, so they generate cash to the Apple company. Finally, our group also have provided recommendations for the strategic strategic positioning of the Apple company. So the first one is the further investment in advertisement. So here, deciding to invest in the advertisement further is likely to help Apple to penetrate the market and increase the brand image, brand loyalty, and increase the customer base, uh, and all the stuff. Second is they must provide like timely updates to make the system bug free. That would increase the trust of the customers and that would make it user friendly. So the third point is they should focus on diversification by investing in the new products like the AI-powered solar cars. That's the future. So they need to diversify the product and invest more in the research and development. They have been investing in the research and development, but they should invest in the research and developments so that they can get the results. They can get the successful results of those investments within a specified time, because competitors they might have a better R&D and produce goods similar to what you are researching and developing faster than the Apple. So that they must focus on diversification, so not like investing in the new products. And the fourth part is customer data and security and privacy. So it's one of the major concerns right now. Many litigations are going on regarding the data security breach and the wrongful use of customer data. So um, this is one of the major concerns for the customers right now about the data, how the data is being used. So this is related to the trust the customer puts on Apple. So Apple should focus in the long run to for the data security and the privacy of the customer data. So they must gain the trust of the company. They must gain the trust of the companies, their clients, company clients or individual clients, or so that they can their customers or the client can trust them that their data are not being misused. So they must invest in that. And sustainable and green practices is one of the major trends right now, because the people buy customer friendly and environment friendly products from the companies that has a sustainable and green practices or standards that follows the corporate social responsibility. So Apple should follow the sustainable and green practices, and they should invest in the products that are environment friendly, like low carbon emissions and all the stuff, so that they can be marked as environment friendly in the future, and the people who are more environmental concerned, and they would be using the Apple products. And the current the current customers who are using, they would be more brand loyal. And finally, like if Apple chooses further to invest in the environment friendly products, that is going to make it, that is going to increase its brand image, and finally the brand loyalty of the customer. So finally, the partnership and acquisitions is the another way that the Apple can increase its market. So they can just, if they decide to go into the new market, they can just the partnership with the reputed firm back in that place, or they can. So acquisitions has been one of the major reason for success for Apple. So they might choose to acquire the customers, acquire the competitors, and just mm, so this is one of the way that Apple can move further strategically. So finally, the last slides that I'm presenting is like, what would the competitors of Apple respond? How would the competitor of what would the response of the Apple's competitor would be like? So the possible responses of the Apple's competitors might be cost reductions. So they might reduce the cost. They might increase the productivity, efficiency, and provide a better product at a lower price. Or they can provide a product that looks similar to the Apple products externally, but the functions are relatively lower. So that's one of the method that customer might take. And the second options that customer might use is like second strategy is like they can form a partnership among themselves to compete with the Apple, or they can make a proper right acquisition at the right time so that they can compete with the Apple. So basically, what we have just covered is um, we have discussed about the brief introduction of the company, the product, ANSOP matrix in general, BCG matrix in general, and we have analyzed the product iPhone 14 from the ANSOP matrix context and BCG matrix context, along with the analysis of the company Apple. And we have also provided recommendations and the possible responses of the competitors. So this is the end of of our presentations, and I would like all our group members for the valuable effort that they have provided to prepare this report. Finally, due to certain circumstances, the one presenting this presentation is only me. So I have prepared this presentation on behalf of every member of our group, and I hope you find it useful. Thank you very much.